It was a night like any other, as I began my drive home from a late shift. The road ahead, a familiar stretch of highway in rural Virginia, was shrouded in darkness. Only the occasional flicker of distant lights pierced the night. As I merged onto the highway, the clock in my car read 11:30 p.m. The road was deserted, a ribbon of asphalt slicing through the dense woods that bordered each side. The hum of the engine and the rhythmic thud of tires on the road were the only sounds breaking the stillness of the night. My car's radio? It was tuned to an oldies station, but all I could hear was a faint, static-filled melody, like a forgotten song playing from far away. A feeling of unease began to creep over me. There was something unsettling about the night, a heaviness in the air, a sense of being watched. I tried to shake off the feeling, telling myself it was just fatigue from the long day. As I drove, the static on the radio grew louder, morphing into a cacophony of distorted sounds. It was then that a voice emerged from the noise. It wasn't the cheerful tone of a late-night DJ, but something else entirely, a voice, distorted and otherworldly, speaking words I couldn't quite make out. It sounded like a warning, a message hidden beneath layers of static. Glancing around, my discomfort intensified. The trees seemed to close in, their branches like gnarled hands reaching out to the road. That's when I saw it. In the rearview mirror, a pair of headlights, distant at first, but rapidly gaining on me. Initially, I thought it was just another traveler, but there was something off about the way the vehicle moved. It was an old truck, rusted and battered, its headlights flickering erratically as it raced towards me. The truck caught up, tailgating me so closely I could hear its engine's ragged roar. I could see its silhouette in the glow of my taillights. An old model, its body dented and covered in patches of rust. In a sudden maneuver, the truck swerved into the opposite lane and accelerated. As it pulled alongside me, time seemed to slow. I turned to look, my curiosity overtaking my fear. The driver's side window was down, but where I expected to see a person, there was nothing. An empty void, a darkness so deep, it seemed to absorb the light around it. My heart raced, and a cold sweat broke out on my forehead. I watched, frozen, as the truck sped ahead, its taillights disappearing into the night. The radio's static died down, returning to its faint melody as if nothing had happened. For a moment, I considered stopping, but the fear of being alone on that dark road, possibly with that truck returning, kept me driving. The landscape seemed to change around me. Familiar landmarks looked foreign, and the road stretched endlessly, as if I was driving into a void. Every shadow seemed to move, every sound was a whisper in the darkness. The drive home felt like an eternity, my mind reeling from what I'd seen. Was it a trick of the light, a hallucination from fatigue, or something else, something beyond understanding? When I finally reached the safety of my home, I sat in the driveway trying to process what had happened. I knew the road well, had driven it countless times, but never had I experienced anything like this. In the days that followed, I couldn't shake the image of that faceless driver, the void where a face should have been. I found myself avoiding that stretch of highway, taking longer routes to and from work. I've heard stories since then, tales of other travelers encountering strange phenomena on that same stretch of road. Some dismiss them as urban legends, But I know better. I've seen what lurks in the shadows of that highway, felt the presence of something unexplainable. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's spine-tingling tales on Whispering Shadows Radio. As the night draws to a close and the shadows retreat, we bid you a restful and peaceful good night. If you've enjoyed the chills and thrills, be sure to like and subscribe to Whispering Shadows Radio. Keep the whispers alive and the shadows dancing. Until next time, dear listeners, stay mysterious.